What does it actually mean to train like an athlete? And what does it actually mean to train in a way that is functional? These are important questions to answer because a lot of people in the fitness realm will attempt to make distinctions of what different types of training are for. Even the word functional implies that there is a type of training that can be dysfunctional. So we do want to clarify what it is that our training actually does. Since if we can't do that, then how are we supposed to assess if what we're doing is going to help us get what we want? So we're going to use the parameters of athletic performance as defined in the Essentials of Strength Training and Conditioning textbook from the NSCA. There is an 11th one, by the way, which is anthropometry. That's basically your measurements. Not super trainable to a degree, so I'm going to leave that one to the side for now. But the 10 that remain are maximum strength, which is basically your low speed strength, maximum power, which is your ability to produce force at high speed, anaerobic capacity, that high effort endurance in that 30 to 90 second range, your local muscular endurance, essentially performing reps to failure or velocity loss, aerobic capacity, so that lower effort, longer term endurance, agility, your ability to make decisions and change direction quickly, speed, on a straightaway, what is the maximum speed that you can go, flexibility, moving joints through various ranges of motion, balance and stability, your ability to not fall over, basically, and also to stabilize if you are disrupted, and body composition, lean mass versus fatty tissue. A little bit too much? That's okay, because you don't need to know all of these. You can actually break this down into two buckets, the health bucket and the performance bucket. The health bucket is the 5 items that are actually going to make the biggest difference on your well-being and longevity. And that is body composition, aerobic capacity, local muscular endurance, flexibility, and strength. And the thing is, these can all be trained with a fairly simple program. Essentially, if you do your average power building program and get in a couple of sessions of cardio, of steady state cardio throughout the week, you've got those 5 items covered. That bucket is taken care of. I mean, local muscular endurance, that's bodybuilding training. Strength training, doing the same lifts but at lower rep ranges, and flexibility can actually be accounted for through doing those resistance training exercises. I'll make a whole video on that at some point in the future, but suffice it to say, you don't even need to fit in dedicated stretching if you don't want to. So that's the health bucket. The performance bucket features the more flashy things: power, speed, agility, anaerobic capacity, and balance and stability. So if you are working with a strength coach as an athlete, you are going to also be training these factors. You are going to be doing shuttle runs. You are going to be doing sprint training. You are going to be doing things like the T-test. These are flashy and cool. I mean, power training includes things like box jumps, includes things like Olympic lifting. They have to be done for low reps. They have to be done fully rested, because if you're just doing this like for 10, 15 reps, you're not really training power anymore. Now you're training anaerobic capacity, for example. The key thing is to understand that you should be able to point very specifically to what the exercise you're doing right now trains. And as far as the performance bucket goes, go for it. If you want to include that in your training, that is awesome. It is very fun, and it does improve these abilities over time. Just bear in mind that those abilities don't necessarily need to be at the center of your training unless there is something secondary to this that you want to get better at. For most people, under most circumstances, who have limited time and effort that they can expend at the gym, all you have to do is those health bucket items. That's it. So if you've got those things covered, don't worry about the extras. And if you're worried about whether or not your training is functional, if it looks like you're training those things, that's plenty functional. I hope that clarifies things. If you have any further questions, please leave them in the comments below. Now go forth and get friggin' strong.